44 years old coming out of retirement.
It's almost like a slap in my face, bro.
It's like,
I ain't gonna lie.
Do you even come off like you're available? But with your career and all the things that you're doing in media, do you come off like you're available? Well, state the case then, brother.
Did Phillip Rivers send any type of signs that he was available? Why you asking me to do something that everybody else didn't do? I ain't no sucker. I ain't no lab rat.
You ain't even retired yet.
I did not and will not because of an opportunity like this. And
he also was in their system, but still, like.
I don't give a damn if he was in their family.
All right, real quick, Cam Newton upset that the Indianapolis Colts called 44-year-old Phillip Rivers over him. I remember when the 49ers lost all the quarterbacks to the NFC Championship game to the Eagles, and they was like, if they had made the Super Bowl, Phillip Rivers was going to be the guy that they called. So let's talk about it. Check out the NFL playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine, Amazon, or wherever I'm at, right? Join the Patreon. So, I remember that, right? And I just think Phillip Rivers is familiar with the system. He played with the Colts. I just think it's a football decision. He's familiar with the system. You know? And I just think that Cam Newton never really learned to play the quarterback position from the pocket. I think how Vic eventually mastered it towards, when he got with Philly, how to sit in the pocket and make throws. I think you're starting to see Lamar. He's starting to master it. Cam Newton never mastered it. Cam Newton, to my recollection, couldn't be successful without design quarterback runs, powers, and all of that stuff. He never mastered the ability of really playing the quarterback position. Phillip Rivers is going to eat you up from the pocket. Cam Newton, not so much. He just never mastered it. And I feel that Cam then went out here, he trying to be like Shannon Sharp. And there's no disrespect. Shannon blazed, I don't want to say it's disrespectful, but he blazed the trail for a lot of these young men to do what he did. But Cam do a lot of cooning. Cam allowed these women to come on his platform and disrespect them. You know what I'm saying? Let the pastor talk about he has some sexy legs. And I just really think it come from a place of, I buck danced, I buffooned, and he been buffooning and cooning. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it a beat. Shout out to Easy from Charlotte. He was putting us on game years ago. He been buffooning and cooning. And, for the most part, he, started his podcast platform, finessed his way into the ESPN and back into the main vision. But you ain't doing enough buffooning and cooning to be over brother Phillip Rivers, over Brad Phillip Rivers. You ain't did enough. He kissed all his ass. He like, man, I got ostracized out the league. Of course. Listening to I forget who it was. And he said if we let black people start coaching and being the general managers at a mass ability or play the quarterback position, what else do we got? That's what Brad was saying. I forget. I'll see if I can dig that clip up. He said, what else do we have? They lost the quarterback position for the most part. It ain't what it used to be. So the ownership is just never be in our favor unless we start our own shit. But before we start our own shit, we're going to have some friction in this country to delineate and take back what's ours. Take that far you want to take it. But before you do that, we got to stick together as a people. And right now, brothers ain't sticking next to brothers and the sister ain't fucking with the brother. So that ain't going to never happen. But yeah, he did all that butter biscuit eating and buffooning and cooning. You know what I'm saying? And he like, man, why they ain't call me? Why I got kicked out the league? Man, it don't matter, bro. You took your backbone and you just, you a rodent. You a spineless rodent. And you thought you was above Phillip Rivers? Absolutely not, brother. You're not. You still a ninja. You might be a colorful wearing hat ninja, but the way them kids was jumping on you and all that stuff is because you allow people to disrespect you. You allow them hoes to come on that channel and disrespect you. Same women, if you turn that camera off and you said, well, let me clap your cheeks Rawski and put a baby in you, they'll fall in line. Let that pastor disrespect you about your legs. You know, you went out your way to hate on Jalen Hurts because of a beef with Philly. A brother that ain't did nothing for you. You supposed to be a torch carrier, man. You had the torch. You supposed to pass the torch to the Lamars and the Jalen Hurts and shit like that. Not cause deception, not cause confusion. Cam did a lot of anti-black shit, even just before you get to the shit he done while he was playing. These players get on and they start getting money and they don't think they black no more. That's it. They think they're their own race. Right? They think being a yes man, going against the grain, going against the color black, you know what I'm saying? And they gotta find out, like Diddy found out. Still a ninja. You still a ninja, boy. Like Kanye fell out, you still a ninja, boy. And Cam thought he was above approach. No, Rivers is gonna be plugged in. They like him in the NFL. They like Phillip Rivers. He one of their good old boys. So hopefully Cam figure it out. Hopefully he figure it out. But for the most part, the best thing I can say was be yourself. A lot of these brothers, they get on and they don't have to say it. And they mind, they don't have to believe it. But they no longer black. They no longer black. They own, I got money, but then when they fall from grace, now you want to be back. I don't play that shit. Once you go back from black, don't come back to black. That's my thing. Y'all be giving grace to coons, man. Ain't no like known coons, like, you know, like doing shit that they know what they don't get no grace. You know, maybe some of the parties in the African diaspora who don't really understand and really got real questions on why it is, cool. But if you been in it, you don't get no grace, man. That's just my opinion on it. Hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Amazon, Kick. I'm literally everywhere. Join the Patreon. Peace.